and welcome back to the channel. My name is Katie, and guys, we have some new leaking audio information from Turd and John Depp. I love it. So this was actually found by another YouTube, Vault of Truth. This person's name is Vault of Truth, and they are Australian and pretty entertaining, so go check them out. They were the ones that got this information, so I always like to give credit where it's due. Not that they need help, they're doing great on their own, but you know, like I said, I like to give credit where it's due. So they were able to put together one of the very famous audios from Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, one of those clips, and what it's finding, guys, is it looks like not only is this audio clip much later than we all thought, talking 2019, right? Apparently in this audio clip, Amber is begging for Johnny back. What is happening? We're going to dive into this and I'm going to show you everything. But before we do, if you're new, hi, how are you? My name is Katie. On this channel, I cover all the trending topics and we giggle at everything and we just look at all this dark stuff and we extrapolate what we can and we have a really good time. So if you like content like this, make sure and subscribe, hit that notification bell. I would love to have you. So let's go into this a little further and I'm going to play the audio clip. And by the way, I have to apologize. There's lots and lots of this being bleeped out. I know it's annoying. It's really, really annoying. The majority of the cursing, well, Johnny does some. It's mostly Amber. It is a little bit of a hard listen, but there's a lot of interesting stuff that we can extrapolate from this. Because remember, in 2019, going into 2020, right? In 2019, Amber had already, she'd done the TRO, she had done the hit piece, they had already been sued in court. And what this audio is showing is, it sounds like homegirl shows up at his house and is trying to get him back by starting a fight with him. And there are different areas in where the timing is now matching up to that. So I want to go ahead, I'm going to play this so you guys can hear it for yourself and I'll get your guys' opinions. But let's play it, listen to some of these and point out, sound off in the comments if you can pick up on when this was and some different details. Here we go.
You had no reason to come over here.
Yeah, no, I made a big mistake. I wish I hadn't.
Oh, yeah,
I wish I hadn't. I wish I hadn't bought into any of your lies, your sober presence, your goodness, your sweetness, all the lies. I wish I hadn't bought into the months of you being you. I wish I hadn't bought into the promises. I wish I hadn't thought I could have kids with you. You kid yourself. I wish I hadn't bought into any of the lies you sold. Talk about fake bill of goods. You're the biggest. You're the biggest seller of fake bill of goods. Talk about presenting yourself as something.
I did myself the fake goods. You've left nothing, and I've left everything. So let's see.
She is.
I'll let you know.
Oh, sure she is. Her for her yoga vlog.
That fake laugh. That fake laugh is too much to take.
Really? What else? What else other thing do you want to add? Lying piece of what? Oh no, I want to know.
Yeah,
I want to know.
get out your Ubers out.
I'm kind of waiting. You go get it.
Yeah, I'll be in.
Wait, is there no other place for you to run in your 15 other houses to go run? Come on, go be a real married man and go deal with the way that a man does. Go run to the next house.
I wish I didn't.
Every man does.
Yeah.
Go. Run away. I know it's hard to look at your
ridiculous plan.
It's hard.
Panic plan.
It's hard. It's hard.
Screwing everybody else over.
That's what I do.
You're the most spoiled brat. And you've got everybody out here almost full, but don't.
Back to that. Well, I wonder what we else. I wonder what else we can reach for in the last 6 years. Oh no, it was 4 years ago. You're right. I'm sure there's other things you can find.
Go laugh.
No, I'm not laughing.
Or, no, matter of fact,
I'm not laughing. I'm not. It's serious. I'm sure you can find other things.
I know. And stripping. Well, there's always that. You can always go back.
You can write a book. You can write a book. I know you can write a book. Oh, is this gonna be good for your book? Oh, should I have you sign an NDA for your book?
You don't know.
If only I was with someone in their 50s that could point that out to me. Magic Mike, you're right. When you play a non-object. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Got it all figured out.
You don't even know what movies I've done.
If only
you haven't even taken an interest.
If only I could be like
but I had to
you. If
watch
only
your
I could be like you.
I had to watch your direct and you trying to like
You're a joke.
spew out lines.
You're a joke. You're a joke.
Yeah, I'm the joke in the industry, Amber.
What'd you say?
I'm
Pedal my way back. Sorry. I can't hear you.
Aquaman.
Oh, your movie on your and then you let your wife take all the things. Oh, just like the home wreck. You never fight.
Get out of my life.
You're a coward. You're
Don't.
and you like everyone else. Go suck my you cowardless, ballless piece of shit.
I want nothing
You,
to do.
I don't want anything to do with you. You don't want something to do with you. You think I want that old piece of shit?
Ah.
You. You're a joke, man. And you're an embarrassment that I even came here and wasted my time trying to get you back.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So those days are
No,
gone.
you're
yeah.
right. Those days are gone.
Yeah.
So I'll send you money for the sips
I
I'm
don't
taking.
care. Send me pictures
5,
of pumpkin.
8,
I don't
10,
care. Send me a TV dinner.
15.
Just give me something that says it's over. Bye.
Okay.
If you didn't know who the I was.
You're right. Go sell your journals like a real non-sellout. 55-year-old. Or, sorry, 52.
6.
Or, sorry, 52.
6.
First big thing that I want to point out, and hi, welcome back, when it comes to this audio, okay? So they are arguing, right? And they're talking about, and she's throwing out his age. I think she keeps saying 52, 52. He continues to correct her and says 56, 56, 56. Did you hear that? Now, how old is Johnny right now? According to Google, right now he is 59 years old. It's 2022. That means that would put us right around in that time frame of 2019. And that, I think, is really, really significant because here's what this shows, okay? It's very interesting. In the trial, we know that Amber was trying to build that, at least what it looked like to us, what it looked like to me, this fake rapport with the jury. I was going to call them the audience. I guess for her it's an audience. But this fake rapport with the jury, right? So she kept looking at them when she's talking, which is just weird. The whole thing was weird. I'm like, what PR or legal person told her, look at I was going to call them the audience again. Look at the jury. Look at the jury. Well, she tried to say that she's just moving on with her life and getting on with her life and all this, and she's got a baby and she wants to move on. But then she'd look at Johnny and say, look at me. Why don't you look at me? Look at me. Look at me. And remember the famous thing where he's like, I don't want to. And we were all laughing, right? So it's very, very interesting because another thing is with her histrionic and borderline personality, with all of these mental illnesses that she's been diagnosed with, part of that is the abandonment issues and that she doesn't know how to let him go. And you guys remember the interview? I've done so many videos on this. I know you've seen them. She did that interview with Savannah Guthrie, I think is her name. And they talked about Johnny and she says she still loves him. Now, here's the thing. From somebody, I'm a very spiritual person, as you guys know. Not religious, very, very spiritual, right? Buddhism, Taoism, some New Age mixed with some Christianity. The positive aspects is what I'd like to say, right? I'm a big mutt of a bunch of stuff. Some paganism, some Wiccan, I'm a bunch of things. Kind of everything and nothing, I feel like. I could understand the concept because to almost all of my exes, I still have love for them, right? And I still try to look at, even with the worst ones, what positive aspects did I gain from that? Which is why no matter how much A word, physically, mentally, emotionally not nice, please infer A, a bus, and ER, behavior I've been through, I don't out those people. I don't bring that up, right? I mean, we could go into a lot of that in psychology. That's for another video. But when it comes to Amber Heard, when it comes to this situation with her, she very much comes across as though she's not over Johnny. She still wants Johnny, right? And then she says she was crying and saying, I just want this to be over. The fake tears. I just want this to be over. She's crying on the stand. You know, I want to move on. I want to move on. But let's think about this, guys. Think about this. She goes through all this with Johnny, files the TRO. They have the UK lawsuit situation. She then does the op-ed. And she's now going, after all of that, going back to his house. You can hear at one point saying, I don't know why I even came over here trying to get you back. Now, the whole time, listen to Johnny. This is where things can get a little complicated when it comes to A-word behavior, but listen to what Johnny has to say about all of this. Johnny's pretty calm. He just wants her to leave. The whole time, he's trying to get her out of the house. He's trying to, order her an Uber. He is really trying to make that transition to get her gone and she just doesn't seem to want to leave whatsoever. It's almost like, well, if I can't get what I want, I can't have you, then I'll just start mocking you and putting you down and making fun of you. Another thing when it comes to the timing, she starts to talk about his book and laughs and make fun of his book. Like apparently when they got married, they had to sign NDAs, right? And so the timeline of what he's talked about with writing that book versus what she's saying, that matches up to 2019. Now this is kind of difficult because I had a relationship with an A-worder, okay? And it went on for many, many years, and it was on and off, back and forth. So somebody could say if things were that bad and you went through all of that to get away from him, why would you go back? Well, I can sit here and tell you from my own experience of the awfulness I went through consistently and going back. However, I also never took it upon myself to ever get the police involved or do any of that. We can argue whether or not I should have, and I'm not really here to do that. But I'm saying, like, there are certain things that I could understand in where she's coming from if it wasn't that it was Amber Heard. For instance, if I was going to write an op-ed, if I was going to go through all of the stuff that Amber went through, right? If I was going to go that route, I would not be going back to that person. I think that would be at a point where I was completely done. Now, with that being said, this is where it's a very gray area because people will go back. It does really mess up your brain. The problem with Amber and Johnny is what you have to understand is who is the one that's actually initiating the A word, because there's an A worder and then the other one ends up a lot of times doing reactive A word. They are reacting to the A word stuff that they have been going through. And so far, the evidence shows, or at least it seems, is that Amber was the one who would initiate and be the A-worder and Johnny would be reacting. But Johnny was super, super calm in that audio, just trying to get rid of her. But that's the other thing. Many times these A-worders are very, very calm because everything is about their image. I'm not saying that's what it is with Johnny. I'm just explaining how this stuff works and why it's so complicated. Now, here's the other part with Amber saying I still love him, right? Which I just touched on a second ago. So I still have love for all of my exes. Very spiritual person. However, from everything we've seen with what Amber has done, I don't know that there's a lot of spirituality or morality there, or if there is, it's lost. So is this a situation where anybody can really look at it and say, well, maybe she's speaking from a higher spiritual perspective? Is Amber somebody at this point who's going to be somebody who's going to attain or want to aim for the higher spiritual perspective in something? From what we've seen and what we've experienced with her, meh. I would venture to say no. That's just me. So I look at this more as, I think with Amber and this article that this woman put out, Jessica Krause, recently, where an eyewitness named Gia, who dated both Elon and Amber, was kind of their throuple girlfriend, talked about this, and that Amber owns people in her mind. People are Amber's toys to use and to put back on the shelf and put in the toy chest and to take out whenever she wants, at her timing and at her bidding. And it would seem like with everything she did, trying to get away from Johnny and make a public display, to then come back. And again, this is like 2 or 3 years later, guys. So please understand what we're seeing and what we're looking at here, right? Or 2 or 3 years later. This is like 2 or 3 years ago. This was very, very recent that this all happened. So should we really assume she's trying to get some higher spiritual perspective of finding love and goodness and everything? Or is she really not over Johnny and she thinks on some level that she still owns him? Now, a couple other key pieces of information from my opinion. Now, a couple other key pieces of information, in my opinion, about this situation with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. This was in 2019. So, first of all, we hear him do that Aquaman, which is really funny. He's basically mocking her performance in Aquaman. Aquaman wasn't released until December 2018, which means most likely he had seen her performance and he's mocking her for her performance, which would put this in 2019. As well as you remember, they shared, I believe it was they shared the same talent agent, right? Christian. And Christian in court had come out and said in 2018, Amber would text and say, I'm trying to get a hold of Johnny, meaning she was trying to get back with him as early as 2018. So it would stand to reason that a year later, she's still trying. Now, another part is she had said something about, what have you done in the last 6 years? What have you done in the last 6 years? So let's kind of look at that. We know their relationship started, it was 2012-ish, 2013-ish. So if you do the math, that would put this with everything else somewhere within the 2019 time period. So everything we're seeing right now suggests that it was only 2.5 to 3 years ago, after everything that had happened, she is still trying to get him back. And like I said, okay, we could try to look at it from spiritual aspects and from all these different things, but I don't feel like, at least from what we've seen in the media, which could be different personally, it doesn't seem like this is a person who's really devoted to any type of spiritual growth for anything that they're saying or doing. In fact, I feel like the more and more things happen and the more and more time goes on, we see it's the opposite. Now, with that being said, I'm always praying for the best and highest good of everyone, right? That'd be wonderful if this was some kind of wake-up call for her and she became a great person and a great attribute to society. I think we should, all want that for ourselves and for everybody, or we do our best, right? I mean, there's some people we're mad at and some people we have feelings towards, but at the end of the day, I think that's the type of thought process that not only helps the world be a better place, but makes us healthy, right? But I think when you look at all this, this is what is very, very interesting. Like I said before, people are her objects. They aren't actual people, which is a very big narcissist sociopathic trait. And we have heard all of this information, I have videos on this, that apparently she has been begging Johnny to come back to her. And not only that, we've also heard she has been doing secret private meetings asking him for favors to lower this amount, to do away with the verdict. In fact, what we had heard is she'd been trying to do secret meetings with him. They didn't work. And then shortly after that, she filed the appeals and then did warning shots to Elon Musk and the media. So I think, and you might be like, well, what's the big deal? She's trying to get him back. I feel like this just continues to showcase more lies and continues to showcase what type of person she is. And this is why, and it's so hard, we have to be so careful when it comes to just blindly believing accusations. But at the same time, we need a better system so that when real victims, women or men, when real things happen and you have A-word behavior happen to you, there is a way to be able to rectify and remedy that in a way that's good for the victim, because we have very little of that in society. That's why we have the whole trope of believe all women, because we have very little recourse and action to actually be able to take care of this criminally or even civilly at this point. And that's why they said believe all women. The problem is when you come across women like this, and let's be honest, there are people like this. Women can be awful, men can be awful, everybody can be awful. So I think the good thing is let's protect the victims, let's find ways to help them heal, let's also find ways to help the perpetrators who want to become better, because that's the other thing. With the Me Too movement, guys, and this is where I think people are fighting back right now, there is no room for forgiveness. It's just, okay, anybody makes an accusation and you're done. That's causing what we're seeing right now. This is causing the cultural backlash, and it's going to continue until we understand we have to stop fighting each other and fighting these stupid narratives that the psychopaths at the top try to convince us, and find solutions. Those solutions are, we have a system to take care of the victims. We have a system to help heal the perpetrators in whatever way that we can, if and when they are ready, or a way to seek justice, or both, I would say. We need that put in place, because that is when real healing happens. Otherwise, we're all running around just making more crap when we could just be enjoying the beautiful, amazing lives that we're supposed to have and be filled with love and happiness, in my opinion. What do you guys think? Sound off in the comments. You know I'd love to hear what you have to say. And as well, guys, if you like this video, we'd love to have you around more. Make sure and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you can go with me every day. Leave a comment, leave a like. Everything greatly helps. Okay, guys, I think that's it for me here. Take care, lots of love, lots of blessings. Till the next video, I'm giving everybody hugs, kisses, stay safe, and as always, your girl. We'll see you soon. Bye, guys.